We've made a lot of breakfast sandwiches on here. But what if I took one element from each and combined them to make the greatest breakfast sandwich of all time? Okay, so today we're making amalgamated, twisted creation from another land. What I'm trying to say is I'm taking multiple elements from different breakfast sandwiches we've made, throwing in a fat, thick boy of a perfectly buttermilk fried chicken to see if we can make a breakfast sandwich so god dang good. It's a meal on its own. You just need the sandwich and nothing else. You're good for like 7 to 8 hours afterwards. So with all that being said, let's make this, shall we? What really classifies a breakfast sandwich? Well, let's look at the basic version. You got a white loaf of bread, toasted, egg scrambled, little salty salt, simple. Bacon cooked to a browned either floppy or crisp exterior. Placed down upon your bread, your scrambled eggs, some sort of cheese, in this case cheddar, topped off with another slab of toast, and you have a humble / simple breakfast sandwich. Nothing wrong with it. Cheese pull and everything. Let's do a quick taste test and see how we want to go about this.
We have a breakfast sandwich. Oh, so cute. Look, there's nothing inherently wrong with this. I'm a big fan of this. It's simple, beauty and simplicity, but that's not what today's video is about, is it?
No!
Get out of here. This is not supposed to be simple, but we're gonna review a simple one. This is the one that my mom would usually make for me, right? Everybody's mom has made this sandwich. This is just good. Let's talk about nostalgia for a second. Think about what that bite tasted like. 2 pieces of toast, eggs, cheese, bacon.
That's it.
No sauce, no fancy salt, just that. I did just realize that I forgot black pepper. Moment of silence for that. All right, enough silence. The assessment is, it's a delicious sandwich. Buttery, you got the eggs, the cheese, all the flavors kind of meld together and you can pick each one out. That's why people say that cooking simple food is more difficult because you can tell the inconsistencies immediately. It's not covered by anything else. It's a good sandwich, but I think we could do better. So we're gonna try making the greatest fried chicken breakfast sandwich and see how it compares to this.
Right, so as I said, nothing wrong with a beautifully simple breakfast sandwich. But sometimes that gets boring. Sometimes you crave an adventure. Maybe one like this double cheeked up maple griddle cake bunned fried chicken breakfast sandwich. So let's break it down. First thing, maple griddle cake buns. Yes, with literal pockets of maple syrup in the goddamn bun. If I'm being honest, this bun recipe is from my McGriddle video.
It is what it is.
So grab a medium sauce pot and add 1 cup or 240 milliliters of maple syrup, bring to a boil over medium-high heat, and let that reduce, adjusting the temp as needed to avoid it boiling over until the mixture reaches 265 degrees Fahrenheit, about 10 minutes. Let the mixture sit till most of the bubbles subside, and pour onto a parchment-lined baking sheet and allow it to cool completely. Once it's cool, tear off small pieces of your maple candy and roll into small balls, about half the size of a pea. Repeat until you get about 1 cup of balls, or until you get tired of rolling balls. So you can freeze or refrigerate the stuff and use later, like in pancakes or biscuits or whatever. Okay, griddle cake buns. Probably the easiest buns you'll ever see on this channel, so pay close attention. In a medium-sized bowl, combine 1.5 cups or 225 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons or 9 grams of baking powder, 2 teaspoons or 5 grams of fine sea salt. Give that a whisk. Till thoroughly combined, mix in 1.5 cups or 323 grams of whole milk, beat 1 whole egg till homogeneous, then whisk that into your flour mixture. There's a lot of mixing and mixtures here. And whisk together just until it comes together in a smooth batter. Finally, mix in 2.5 tablespoons or 35 grams of gently melted unsalted butter until completely incorporated. Please do not overmix this. We're making airy, light buns, not dehydrated biscuits. Unless you want dehydrated biscuits, maybe it makes you happy. That's what it's all about, happiness. So to cook these brothers off, get yourself a 4-inch metal ring mold. Grease that feller up, heat a flat top or a pan over medium heat, lightly butter it by rubbing a thick pat of butter on it. You just want a thin veneer of melted butter, not a poaching bath. Then place your ring mold atop that and fill your ring mold about 1/2 inch up with batter. Add some of your tiny little balls scattered evenly atop the batter. Gently press them so that they're submerged and cover with an inverted bowl, or I guess maybe a lid if you're using a pan. And let that steam cook for 1 to 2 minutes. Remove the bowl and it's ready to flip when the ring mold comes off relatively easily. Then gently flip the cake and look, if it farts out the end just a little, that's fine. Just carefully place that ring mold back on top to guillotine off that skirt to keep it even. Now just let it cook for another 2 minutes or until nicely brown on the underside, and of course the inside is just cooked through. Place it on a wire rack to cool and repeat with the rest of your dough and tiny little maple balls. There's nothing better than some little cakes and little balls. Hello? Somebody? Okay, you have your maple griddle cakes. Next, let's talk fried chicken. First, we need our soak. In a medium-sized bowl, add 2 cups or 480 milliliters of buttermilk, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of ground white pepper, 1/4 teaspoon or 1 gram of onion powder, 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon or 10 grams of smoked paprika, 1 tablespoon or 10 grams of kosher salt, and 1/2 teaspoon or 3 grams of MSG. Give that a whisk until thoroughly combined and add in 1 pound or 450 grams of boneless and skinless chicken thighs. Let them have a little bath in your Milkies and ideally marinate in the fridge overnight or use right away because you forgot to. Now for your flour dredge, get a big boy bowl and add 2 cups or 300 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon or 10 grams of kosher salt, a quarter teaspoon or 1 gram of optional MSG, 2 teaspoons or 5 grams of medium coarse ground black pepper, 2 teaspoons or 9 grams of garlic powder in a cute little pinch bowl that my mommy made. Thank you, Mom. 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of smoked paprika. Give that some whiskey business until thoroughly combined and you're ready to fry. High into the sky of mountainous, flaky buttermilk fried chickeny terrain. Anyway, real simple. Toss a couple pieces of chicky in your flour and coat thoroughly, pressing the flour aggressively into the chicken to ensure that it's completely coated with your dredge with no dang bald spots. Anyway, shake off the excess and place it on a sheet tray until all of your chicken is breaded. Now, fry time is simple. Hot oil, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and at least 2 inches deep. Lay in 2 to 3 thighs at a time, laying away from you as to avoid being a donkey and splashing yourself with hot oil, and fry those brothers for 4 to 6 minutes or until they are beautifully crisp, golden brown, and the internal temp is 165 Fahrenheit. Fish them out with a spider and drain on a wire rack. Optionally, you can season a taste with salt at this point, but they shouldn't need it. Repeat with the rest of your chicken, and guess what? You fried all your chicken. Congratulations. What do you want? Metal? Now we're almost ready to assemble our sandwich, but hold your horses. Who wants to go around life with no sauce? My sauce is a non-renewable resource, so please do this accordingly. In a small bowl, combine 1 cup or 160 grams of creme fraiche, a quarter cup of 40 grams of mayonnaise, a small handful of finely chopped parsley, and a couple sprigs of fresh thyme leaves, also finely chopped. Last but not least, 2 cloves of garlic, grated, and season a taste with salt generously. Stir together until evenly incorporated, and that is your sauce. Now let's cross-check our elements here. Chicken, check. Sauce, check. Buns, check. Oh shit, I forgot about bacon. I cooked it on a flat top over medium heat, flipping constantly until, well, done to my liking, which is browned, but still juicy. Assembly time. Bottom bun. Herbed creme fraiche spread evenly. 1 slice of cheddar cheese. Melted lovingly either with a torch or under a broiler. Bacon to your heart's desire. Followed by a crisp thigh of chicken. A fried egg, which is cooked simply in a nonstick pan with 3 tablespoons of oil over medium-high heat. Your egg cracked in and basted with that hot oil to cook the whites. And finally, seasoned with flaky salt. Placed gently atop your chicken. Sauce your top bun and ever so softly as to not bust that which desires to be buzzed. Lay that bun down. And wow, I mean, look at that. This isn't just a breakfast of champions. Instead, in the breakfast world, this is the champion. Now let's bust that yolk, ogle at its drip, and taste test this to give it our review.
You ever seen a goddamn breakfast sandwich look like this? This is like the McGriddle sleeper. I know we've done the McGriddle but better, and granted we did use the same buns, to be fair. But this is part of evolving what we thought was a good breakfast sandwich. That's why we did this. Or at least it's what I'm telling myself because I don't really know why. So take that however you want. Now, this is a thick man. Look, my mouth can do a lot of things, just not that, respectfully. Look, it slices pretty well. This is like whenever Ulysses eats. It's because he has a small mouth. It's also simultaneously big at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Holy f. That first bite, despite the fact that the chicken fell directly out, which we won't talk about, sent me to the Empire State Building of sandwiches. Does that make sense? You're right at the very tippy top. Here I am. Oh my God, I'm so high. Okay. There's a spire. And this is what's on top of that spire. These buns are ridiculous. They're actually much better than last time. I don't know how. Good Lord! The chicken needed to happen. Let me quickly rewind this to when we first had the original breakfast sandwich. The original breakfast sandwich is something that you make for sustenance to survive. This is something that you make to have an experience, to enter a luxurious zone, a wonderland of textures and flavors, crunches and softness, smoothness and wetness, if you will. If you want a breakfast sandwich that'll bring an experience that's gonna knock your goddamn pantaloons off, kick your horse, fly out the window like Superman, do a backflip into your cowboy boots in front of your family members and they think you're the coolest for it, this is the sandwich for you. Otherwise, you just make the other breakfast sandwich.
You wanna know what else has honkin' buns filled with oozing goodness? B-roll. All right, guys, and that is it. So we made our breakfast sandwich. This was an impeccable sandwich. Absolutely nothing wrong that I would point out with it. I'm happy with every single element. Is it what I want for every single breakfast? Probably not, no. It's pretty work intensive, but if you wanna have a special breakfast day, you got friends over, family over, you wanna make something crazy, or you just wanna have a good time by yourself and have a lot left over, that's just fine. So with all that being said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.